Hello everyone! I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I wanted to cover rumors that surfaced recently that supposedly a new Force Unleashed game is being developed. Tons of different media outlets and content creators picked up on this story, which I am somewhat surprised by, because there is absolutely no chance that this game will get made. At the very least, I sure hope it won't. Let me elaborate. The first Force Unleashed was a good game. It was by no means on the level of titles such as the Jedi Knight series, Knights of the Old Republic, or Republic Commando even, but it was fine. A decent experience with a planned out narrative structure. By now you can probably tell that I am not a big fan of the game, simply because it took an approach to the IP that I strongly disliked. What do I mean by this? When you make a Star Wars game, especially one in which lightsaber combat acts as a core game mechanic, you have two choices. You can do what Fallen Order did and remain true to other established narratives, making the protagonist weaker in comparison to the likes of Vader or Sidious. Or you can do what Force Unleashed did and throw all that away and just have some fun with it. In my eyes, Starkiller could never be canon, and never was. It just doesn't make sense for him to be. A Force user is born that is capable of dealing with both Sidious and Vader? I mean, come on. At this point, Luke Skywalker's significance is completely diminished. I do understand that the developers wanted to just have some fun with the whole thing and treat this game as a separate entity, a video game, but I am just not a fan of such approach. That is my first main complaint. But it mainly comes from me being a Star Wars fan that appreciates a fictional universe in which everything is intertwined and makes sense, making this imaginary world feel more authentic, more meaningful. My other complaint, also quite significant, is that the gameplay itself was shallow. If you compare it to Jedi Academy, it had no depth whatsoever. It was just a game with classic hack and slash formula, decent visuals at the time, and physics that utilized the Havoc engine. All in all, nothing groundbreaking. And even though I consider the game to be highly overrated, it was received positively. The second one though, the sequel to it, that was such a mess. I think it is the worst Star Wars game that I have ever played, I kid you not. I do remember vaguely buying it on day one for like over $50, and it felt like such a waste of money afterwards. Force Unleashed 2 was clearly rushed and probably faced numerous issues during development. I honestly couldn't believe that they released such a lackluster product. It was a cash grab, that's all there is to it. They made some promotional cinematics with Yoda and Boba Fett that were just that, cinematics inserted into the game. These characters, absolutely crucial to the IP, did nothing in the game itself. And the game's story, oh boy, don't get me started on that. It was bad, it was really bad. The protagonist went through no hero's journey. Honestly, nothing happened that felt impactful. The ending was open-ended, and yet I had no interest in finding out what happens next. I felt no emotional attachment to the narrative, so why would I? I could keep on rambling for hours why this game is bad, but enough is enough. So, the supposed second sequel. At this point I think it is pretty clear why I think Force Unleashed 3 will never happen. Maybe the leaker confused this title with Fallen Order 2? I have no idea. I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that another Force Unleashed game will never get made. It just doesn't make sense to make one. If these rumors were to be true, Lucasfilm would be facing two choices. Either declare the series non-canon, being its own separate thing, or make it canon, along with previous Force Unleashed games, which has tons of implications. The latter is just not going to happen, as for the former, just as unlikely. From a game developer's standpoint, why would you even want to continue with this story? Usually, game designers or any other creatives for that matter prefer to start fresh and have as much creative freedom as possible. I do understand that some of these views might come off as strong, controversial even. If you enjoyed the Force Unleashed games, that is completely fine. I would actually be very intrigued to find out if you guys agree or disagree with me, so be sure to leave a comment below. And on that note, may the Force be with you always.